here in a second on this episode is a true entrepreneur. We'll be doing phone calls shortly. I hope everybody's super awesome and hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you watched the cartoon Lil B. If you have not, it is absolutely South Park consistency. More like 38-year-olds are like, yo, I'm watching this. So that was really fun over the weekend. And that's it. What do you got, ETA-wise?
1 minute.
Cool. Cool. Anybody else do anything interesting? What else is interesting? We have the sneaker thing. Is that tonight?
It's tonight.
Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, on Network?
Yes.
All right, I'm sure there's some right hooks on, like, in my stories, or...
Yep.
Do we have some swipe ups in my stories? Or that'll happen tonight?
I'm sure there is right now.
I'm checking. So if you don't know,
Check
the
stories.
Sneakers, which are all back here, as you can see, Network, which is an incredible app that we worked with. Oh, there's the stories. Okay, going back. You know, what's really fun about this is we finally figured out global shipping. So Italy, Japan, Peru, Brazil, wherever you are, Canada finally, which UK and Canada are always like, Switzerland, and anywhere else in the world, you can order the sneakers finally, and you will be able to check that out tonight. So check out the stories if you want to pick up a pair. I think there's a huge arbitrage for all the people that buy the pairs, like in places that are not America.
People really like them too.
Yeah, the high tops are getting
High
huge.
tops are getting a lot of
And
love.
I think we played it right. We went white high top, black low top. I think.
The low top whites are so fresh though.
I know you wanted them.
There's only one. There's one pair over by Ty's desk.
Low top.
Yeah, we were gonna. I had to decide between low top, high top, black, white. So we made all four.
No.
Little insight. Yep, Pakistan. You ready to go? Cool. Here we go. 313. 313. Give me 1 second. And great. Hey everybody, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is episode 313 of the Ask Gary V show, and I'm excited because the amazing woman that I'm about to introduce all of you to is a true bred entrepreneur in the way that I like to call it. I'm just been so impressed about her career, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. She also brought tequila, which we'll have to ask her what that's all about, but I'm excited about that, and that's the show. So, Marcy, why don't you say hello to the Vayner Nation and tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
Hey, Gary, thanks so much for having me here.
Go ahead, no problem.
That way?
Yep,
that
that's
way.
good.
Okay. I'm Marcia Kilgore, and I've been an entrepreneur now for about 30 years. I brought some
So you started when you were zero?
I started when I was zero. Thank you for that. That was really good.
That was charming, right?
That was quick.
I'm good like that. I'm suave, boys.
The charisma is
Go ahead.
amazing here. It's reeking of charisma.
Go ahead. 30
and
years.
I started Bliss in New York
Yes.
back in 1996, and then sold it to LVMH in 1999, and then sold it again to the Starwood Hotel Group in 2004, and then I started a business called Soap and Glory, which I sold to Boots, Alliance, Walgreens.
Yes, that's the big
in
UK retailer.
Well, Walgreens is
Yes.
also, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're
That's right.
everywhere. They're
Yep.
global. They're
Yep,
global.
they are.
And then I started a footwear brand called FitFlop in 2007, which
Okay.
is globally sold
Yep.
and still have it.
Yep.
And then started a small ecological brand called Super Duper, which is only sold in the UK at the moment, but it's about doing everything right with recycled plastic and ecological formulas. And then I came up with the idea for the big whopper, the big one, which is called Beauty Pie.
Beauty Pie.
And it is a disruptive buyers club for lovers of luxury cosmetics.
Break that down for me. So real quick, as we recap, 5 meaningful businesses that you've launched.
So far.
And what did you learn with Bliss? Bliss is obviously a brand I know extremely well, did extremely well here on the East Coast and all over the world, but I hit my radar as which catches my attention. What did you learn in that first? What were you doing before that in 96?
96. Before that, I had
Yes.
a little spa. It was called Let's Face It.
Let's
and it was
Face
just
It.
Me. First, well, in 92, I started doing facials.
Okay.
And then I did facials on my own in a room for a couple of years, and
Okay.
then opened a
And where'd
bigger
you do
Let's
that?
Face It. When? Where?
Where?
Soho, Prince and Broadway. Nope, Prince and, gosh, it was so long ago. Prince and Lafayette. Spring and Lafayette.
So in New
East
York.
River yeah, in New York, yeah.
And you were born where?
I was born in Canada.
In Canada.
In
What part?
Outlook, Saskatchewan, Canada.
No kidding.
200 people.
And
It's
you-
bigger now, 2,000.
And you
Yeah,
knew you
and-
wanted to be in New York one day?
No, in fact, no, but I was really bored in Canada. And my sister was a model, and she came to New York when she was probably 18, and so I was 13 or so. And one summer I came to visit her, and then I knew I wanted to come to New York.
Really?
Yeah, there was so much incredible pumping energy, right? And all you needed was a piece of pizza and somewhere to sleep. So I knew I wanted to come back when I finished high school.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you did?
Well, I got accepted to Columbia, and
Good for you.
then my payment issues
Yep.
kind of fell through, so
Yep.
I ended up moving here but not having enough money to go
To school.
I didn't have tuition,
Understood.
so I worked as a personal trainer.
And was your,
because I was also
was
a
your sister
bodybuilder.
still here?
She was at the time, yes. Yeah, so I was a bodybuilder.
See, now when she
in
just dropped the
Canada.
bodybuilder part, your eyes lit up.
Yeah.
So-
well, yeah, you should,
Well,
you know,
it's just cool. Like
I
you're
still
like
have the muscle.
not from the
can
body.
see.
Really?
Abs of steel, right?
You were
can see.
hardcore?
Yeah, I was a champion bodybuilder
That's amazing.
when I was about 17.
It's amazing.
Are you going to ask me how much I could bench press?
No, but I want you to share
It
it.
was quite a lot,
How much?
like 180.
It's real.
It wasn't bad for a girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's way more than Andy can do.
Kevin Durant couldn't bench press 185.
Right. When he
Really?
went to the draft.
We were to the
Yeah,
draft,
yeah.
Everyone made a big deal about it.
Yeah. And he
Well,
went
you
on to
just
become
needed
like
better technique.
And I was like, well, you don't need.
Yeah, you don't always need also the
Technique is
pecs,
real.
you know, who
As
cares
somebody
about
who
the
like
pecs?
honestly, as somebody who like started like only lifting like 4 years ago, technique is everything. I was doing all like up here.
Yeah,
like,
no, not in the
it's-
traps.
It's all,
No,
yeah, I
it
got it.
is,
I learned
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Anyway, so was your sister?
I'll take
were
you to the gym one
Please,
day.
I'm looking
Okay,
forward to
yeah.
it. So your sister was living here when you
She was living here.
So you
and then
crashed with her?
I crashed with her for.
That was fun?
No.
horrible?
Well, let's just say I evolved.
Understood.
Yeah, and it's a family thing.
I
and
understand.
sometimes you can live together, and sometimes
Sometimes
you
you
can't live
can't.
together. Yeah, so
Got it.
I evolved, and
Yes.
then I got a job as a personal trainer when I was about, I guess I was 18, working at this gym called Better Bodies, which was on, I think, 19th between Broadway and something, and everybody worked out there. So Jean-Claude Van Damme worked out there, and Gladys Portuguese, who he subsequently married, and they're
Yes.
still married today.
Did they meet there?
I don't know. They're
Okay,
both
keep going.
bodybuilders.
Keep going.
And then, there was a lot of sort of the glitterati of the time. So
Sure.
you had the film producers and the directors and all the cool
Yep.
whoever.
Yep.
Whoever was whoever that
At that
wanted
time.
muscle.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I went there and was working out, and everyone approached me to be their personal trainer. So I ended up getting a job being a personal trainer and then trying to save money so I could go back to university, which I came here for in the first place.
And is that what happened?
Well, I started taking classes at NYU part-time.
Yep.
But then it was very hard to juggle the personal training schedule and the class. I
course.
used to fall asleep in economics.
Right.
So I it was very, very expensive. And we were taught at the time by grad students who weren't necessarily English speaking, which was difficult in calculus. So I dropped out, and then I started to go part-time to Baruch. And I really focused on then learning how to give facials, which was sort of a side gig off the personal training because my skin got so bad. So one summer, instead of going to the Hamptons, where I would be, trapped by a wealthy family who wanted me to exercise them at whatever time of the day, I don't think what you're thinking. You're not. Okay.
No, I wasn't. I actually still don't even know where you're going, but go ahead.
That's good.
Go ahead.
I decided I would take a course in how to give facials. And so I went to the Christine Valmy School of Facials, which was the only thing back then, and learned about how to do facials and skin treatments and waxing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then after convinced my personal training clients to let me practice giving them facials after I would give them a personal training session.
Amazing.
So I would carry a steamer on my back and go up to Park Avenue and have all the workout equipment, right? And then the steamer and all of the beauty equipment. And I would run them up and down their stairs, and I would do a yoga class with them, and then I would give them a facial.
Amazing.
And then I learned how to get better and better, of course, at doing facials. And then I got a small studio in the East River Savings Bank building on Spring Street in Lafayette. And then people started coming to me, and then I gradually started doing less personal training and more facials, and then it kind of went from there. Very organic.
So literally the business started by you scratching your own itch of trying to solve your own singular problem.
Well, that's always it, isn't it?
This is a huge thesis of mine, which is why I'm leaning in, and I love that you jumped on it.
Yeah.
Like, would you tell me that the 5 businesses since, or the 4 businesses since, have similarities, or then it evolved later on?
Certainly 2 of them absolutely have similarities. FitFlop, which was one of them, I had no time to exercise.
Did you have any sense that you were an entrepreneur?
Oh, no.
As a
absolutely.
kid?
Well, okay, I never had a job working for anybody else.
Okay, that's a good take.
So,
What about as a
except
kid, like shoveling snow or like trying to make a buck? Was that in you?
Yeah, I'd babysit. I had maybe 3 or 4 part-time jobs when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to, because my dad died when I was 11.
sorry.
So, thanks. But it gave me a gift.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Adversity is the foundation of success.
Yeah, and you learn that you just got to make it for yourself. Nobody's going to provide
Nobody's
it for
going
you.
to cry for you.
No, and my mom
No.
did not cry for me, not for a second. So there was no, don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard that.
It was, let's figure this out.
It was me saying to her, let's figure this out.
I understand.
Yeah, so we figured it out. And actually, it's really served me. So it's
for
a
you.
terrible thing that happens, but you got to turn everything into,
No, I understand.
yeah, why is it working for you instead of to you,
I have
right?
the best mom in the world, and she lost her mom at 5.
Yeah, it
so
must be tough.
I genuinely believe that a lot of her greatness
Yeah.
comes from that adversity.
Sure.
And the natural DNA and a million other variables, but understood.
Yeah.
So how did Bliss come about from that singular location?
Well, so I had that one facial treatment room,
Yeah.
and it got really busy, and people used to have to wait in the hallway. So I got a larger space where we built out 3 treatment rooms and manicures and pedicures, and then I hired a receptionist, and then
It
we had
became real.
Yeah, it became real, and it was still called Let's Face It. And then the waiting list that we had there was, 18 months. So people are starting to actually get angry because if they tried to rebook an appointment and they didn't book 18 months in advance for their
18
facials.
months.
Yeah, people would book. I want Tuesday night. I want the second Tuesday of every month, and they'd book 18 months out.
Oh, 18 months. Got it.
But
got it.
the whole schedule was booked 18 months out, so you just couldn't get in. So I thought, well, I've got to
And
expand
real quick,
because
from my own knowledge, was it completely word of mouth, or did the Post or the Times, or did you have a viral moment in the old media world?
Sure, yeah, we had a lot of magazine press. Not much newspaper at the time. When I opened Bliss, we had the Times.
Yep.
Yeah, but everything else was kind of Vogue or Glamour or Self or whatever they were
Celebrity
back
clients,
then.
is that what was driving it?
We had a lot of those.
Yep.
Yep. But
I understand.
Yeah, they
Name of
were.
the game at the
They
time.
need facials too.
I've heard.
Yeah.
So how did it go to Bliss?
So then it was the 18-month waiting list, and people were starting to get really upset that we couldn't, get anybody else in. So people would call, and there was just no way you could get in for any kind of appointment for
At any
18
time.
months. Yeah. So obviously you've got to expand, right? And there happened to be an empty space in our building, the Leo Castelli Art Gallery. And so he was closing, and we took over and opened. Well, it took about 6 months to build. It was upstairs in the same building, so I could run up and down and look at the construction and
Yep.
choose paint colors and all that kind of stuff, which was great. And we opened in July of 2006. And
you
it was
named
10 rooms.
And you named it Bliss this time?
I did because
Why?
I wanted to. I thought, what is the greatest feeling that I can give to my clients so that when
Bliss.
they're in here or they're walking out, they just have a moment of, what
Bliss.
is the very best thing I can provide? Because people in New York still are, right? So stressed,
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
They just need a minute. And what do you want to make them feel? And then I had that, you have that feeling, and then you have that moment, and then all the hair on your body stands up. It was one of those moments when that name came to me.
Good for you.
And that was it. Yeah.
What happened from there?
So we opened in July of 2006. There were 10 treatment rooms, and it was full. So Vogue wrote about us again, and then there was a New York Times article, and we were, full
And you had the
page in
same
the style
problem.
section.
You
It
had the
was
same problem, just at bigger scale.
Yeah, so then we had to think, okay, what are we going to do now? Because we still had to pay off the construction, and yet we had no rooms available. So then we were looking for space above or below, and we ended up expanding upstairs. But it took a couple of years because we had no money. So it was that, I never borrowed. I just hoped.
You just executed.
You got to execute. Anybody can theorize.
Anybody can hope.
Yes, anyone can hope, right? Yeah.
You got to execute against the hope.
You prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So never raised capital?
No, I've never raised capital. I've stuffed it between my mattresses and saved it,
Good for you.
But yeah, well, you got to be frugal.
And then what happened? It got so hot that the big company came along and made an offer that you couldn't
We had a few,
refuse?
yeah. We had a few circling around. So 1999 was kind of this hot
Yes.
time.
For everybody watching, because there's a lot of youngsters,
Yeah, you weren't born yet.
1999 was just like it is now. You know how I make fun of too much money in the system?
Yeah, there was a lot. And it was, Bliss was there. Kate Spade.
Yep.
She had just started her company, Crunch.
Yep.
Had just started, remember all of those things. And it was
Yeah.
all at the same time. There was a real
Energy.
creative energy
Yeah.
going on.
There always is in New York, thank God.
Yeah, it's true. But then there seem to be pockets where
Always.
new brands come
Always.
and these brands stay.
Yep.
Because Bliss is still very big
I
today.
know, it's great.
But it doesn't always happen.
Do you feel great about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it means you really made something that really resonates and it's timeless.
You know, what's fun is when it's not your company, you're driving along and now you see a new location and you just like smile or think back to
still
something.
going.
That's
yeah,
neat.
it's got something that actually keeps
So it's so
rolling.
pretty quickly after you had your first place, but as Bliss, it was only 3 years, huh?
Yeah, we were, 3 years in, we started to get approached by a lot of different large conglomerates.
And, you know, for a lot of entrepreneurs that are going through this right now, were you kind of like, I'm never selling, I'm going to build this monster?
No.
Okay, so you were
Not
always
at
open
all.
to it.
I never thought about it.
Right.
But I had lived on a futon with a small television and a vacuum cleaner in a 1-bedroom apartment in the East Village for, a long time.
By the way, remember how I always talk about how'd you have the money to do things? How did you not borrow money? There was your answer.
Yeah, you go to Benny's Burritos once a week, if you're lucky.
One of the biggest things I get pushback on, Garrett, for me is because I talk about not pouring the money back into business or not making as much money.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that you could have a huge business,
Yeah.
but live like shit. Everybody thinks a business is supposed to so many people take the money out of the business so they can live glamorous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the business is your life.
Yeah, that's got to be it, right? You got to sacrifice.
That's
It's
what
a
you
choice. Yeah, of course. But I didn't know how to do anything else. And
But I'm sure you remember, just to remind some people, like, I'm sure there were people in your life at that point, Bliss is hopping, it's getting all this press, and then you have like a friend come over and be like, this is where you fucking live?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Did you love that?
I don't care.
That's the answer.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for yourself. And I don't care what anybody thinks about where I live. And it was perfectly fine. And one of my friends did great trompe-l'oeil on the inside of my apartment for a couple of facials. We swapped.
Barter, baby.
Yeah, I loved it at the time. And you know what? I walked to and from work. It was
You
great.
didn't give
just-
a fuck. Like,
No.
when I think about where I lived, the 7 years I was building the wine business, it was just a fucking bed.
Yeah, you're not there.
You're not there.
You're not there. No, it's like staying in really, really expensive hotels. I know it's glamorous for Instagram and stuff, but you know what? Come on, you're barely in there.
Honestly, I'm just really focused on the water pressure and the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi
Like,
has got to be
to
good.
me, if the
It's gotta
Wi-Fi-
be clean.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I'm a little bit dirty that way. Like, I'm even weird. Like, sometimes, like, weird shit has happened to me, like, traveling in hotels. Like, the bed is not as clean. Like, there's something, like, maybe a weird hair. Like, nothing skeeves me.
That could-
Nothing skeeves me.
No.
Nothing skeeves me.
Could be the housekeeper.
Nothing skeeves me.
They have hair.
But if the water pressure in
like
the
to think
shower
that is
isn't
not good.
good, I'm fucking dead.
Okay.
I need water pressure and I need Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Literally, when both my apartment and my home, like right now, like that, like to my wife, I was like, that's the only two things that matter to me.
And like a
I care about nothing else.
Come on, decent mattress.
I don't know.
Helps.
Probably, but I don't really know what
don't
I'm so
know.
fucking exhausted at the end of the
That
day
you don't know.
that I'm like sleeping regardless.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I know
water
what you
pressure
mean. Yeah.
in the shower, Wi-Fi.
Earplugs.
You know what? I'm so fucking uncomfortable. By the way, I don't mind earplugs. I've done it.
I like a bit
Sometimes.
of earplugs.
You know
the
what?
wax
If
ones are really good.
If I'm able to know that for some weird reason, occasionally 8 days a year, that I can really sleep in,
Yeah.
earplugs when I'm home and I know it can sleep to noon if I need it, that's when I'll do it because I'm like, I'm not missing this rare opportunity to go like for 15 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But
otherwise-
water pressure, Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I keep it basic. Anyway.
Got it.
So Bliss sells
Bliss sells.
and
I stayed for a while.
makes sense.
Yeah, because the
Earn
W
out,
Hotel Group
hand it over.
Yeah,
I get it.
And they wanted me to stay.
Did
and
you
I tried that
when
for
you,
a while.
When you obviously made some money in that.
Yep.
What, if anything, did that mean to you? Did you buy a better place because you were ready?
Yeah, I bought an apartment
Yep,
in Brooklyn. We bought in Dumbo when it was just up and coming. You know, that really great
Midas touch you,
neighborhood.
like fucking.
Well, it was
That's
good. It was good.
amazing. That's
That was
like
my
fucking
husband.
brilliant.
That was my husband.
Kudos
He was
to him.
looking
You
around
fucking
Dumbo,
drilled
and
it.
Yeah, he
You
totally
drilled it.
Actually, yeah, he did really well.
No shit. If you bought in 2000 or 2001 Dumbo,
Yeah, he
that's
did really.
fucking crazy. You crushed it.
He's really good,
Good
at
for him.
at the real estate
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and he actually convinced me. I wanted to buy a small apartment in this
He
building.
went bigger.
He went bigger. He was right. And then when we
awesome.
moved out of New York, he sold it for,
He did
really.
well.
Yeah, he
And where'd
did
you
really
move from
well.
New York to?
We moved to London because we had opened a Bliss in London. And we wanted also to be a little bit closer to his family who's in France. So we thought, you know what, we've done New York for 18 years. He'd been here for probably 25. So let's try London. We had a lot of friends there. We'd opened the new spa there. So it was
cool.
It was nice. And we wanted to have kids. And it's quite human there.
Yes.
You know, lots of outdoor space.
Yes.
And so it's nice to be
Still
close to
have
Europe.
city though. Da-da-da.
Yeah,
Yep.
city. And we can come back and forth. You know, it's so easy now.
Just to go macro as we've gone micro, when people ask you, because you've had so much success in your entrepreneurial career, when people ask you like what stands out, what's worked, what's your advice, what are your go-tos? Like if like a family friend, if you were like, if this weekend you went out on Memorial Day and like somebody, you know, like a young person, guy or gal comes to you and says, I want to be an entrepreneur. What are your go-to, like what are your top things?
Probably two.
Please.
One, there's no shortcut. There is
Patience.
never a shortcut. There is no way around it. You just got to work and sacrifice.
And real quick,
Okay,
to
3.
build, okay, before we get to 2 and 3,
I might forget them.
do you feel like, don't worry, you'll remember. Do you feel, go ahead, finish.
Okay, yeah, I sometimes.
I get it. I do the same
like,
thing.
go
And
like that,
I,
then
honestly,
it's
that's why I
like,
let you do it.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, I would forget. So go.
Yeah, okay,
Go ahead.
so if you choose one thing, it means you can't choose the other. Right? Now, people don't seem to get this.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, so there's this book called The Road Less Traveled. Did you read it?
No, I don't read shit.
It gets a little bit like it's
But
sort
but I
of you
believe
know
in whatever
religious
you're
at
about to
the
say.
end. But when you get to page 26 or something, there's him telling a story about how he chose to do something and then didn't have enough time to do something else, and was complaining to his professor because he chose to do something when he actually didn't have to do it. And the professor pointed out to him that this was your choice. You can choose anything you want. So if you choose A, you probably can't get B. If you choose B, you can't get A. Choose one, and then don't bitch about it. That's kind of it, right? You've got to understand there's a sacrifice with every choice. You want to open a business, you may not have a glamorous pad or a car or be able to go out all the time. You may have no social life. This is your choice, but you don't get it all, and don't waste time complaining, because that doesn't get you anywhere either. And it's a big drain. It makes you really boring. I forgot number 3. What was number 3? Okay, we had 1, 2, I don't know, it'll come to me. Yeah, ask me something else.
Listen, I think that I couldn't be a bigger buyer of what you're putting down.
I remember.
Go.
Okay. Don't sell it if you're not going to buy it yourself. Right? So how many of us have sold something that actually, if it was your money, you would not buy yourself for that price, that item? And if you won't, you cannot, it's not going to do well. If it's not good enough, don't do it. Just wait.
Nothing makes me happier than legitimately giving advice I've taken. And I think about it the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I agree, because the intent of the whole thing is dead if deep down you know it's not something you would buy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. People always ask me, they're like, you're such a good salesman. I'm like, because I believe so fucking much in what I'm selling.
Yeah, if you like your stuff, if you would buy your stuff, if your house is full of your own stuff, it's good
Eating
stuff.
your own dog food.
Yeah, you have to. Why
I
do you
believe
expect
in
other
that.
people to eat?
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
you got to be willing to work. Like,
What's your take on the current state of entrepreneurship? It's become so cool. This was not as cool as when you and I were coming up the game.
I found it cool because that was just a nice fit for
It was
myself.
a creative outlet for you.
Yeah, and it just felt like the only possibility, because I would never really see things the way, I mean, I did. I think I misspoke earlier in that I said I never had a job. When I was a teenager, I worked in a restaurant and I worked at a gym.
Okay.
So I did work for somebody, but I never quite agreed with the way that they executed. And I was like 17, and that was killing me, that we were not doing things properly, and I was just the aerobics teacher. So it's so much easier for me, and it leaves me so much more at peace if I can make my own decisions and then execute,
It's the same reason you've never taken money.
I suppose so. I don't know, because I've never
I
taken
know.
money.
It's why you haven't.
Yeah. Well, if you
You
can,
know, you have to understand, I feel such a kinship towards you. Like, I don't want the money. I want the freedom.
Yeah, and to do something beautifully and just know that it's the right thing and be able to feel excited about it. Because when stuff is pure and you feel like you have given it all and there was no compromise and you didn't have to fake, and it's just right, that when you give, it makes you feel great, right?
No shit.
Like,
You don't even care about the results. You know what's great
you
about...
got to stay, you got to eat.
Yeah, you don't want to go
It's
out of
gotta be
business.
viable.
But,
Yeah.
but what's so fascinating about giving is so many people think they give, but what they're actually doing is manipulating.
Yeah,
A lot of people say to me, Gary, I give. I go, no, you don't. I go, because I know you, and you tried to give to me. What you were actually doing was you were trying to get something from me, and you made pretend you were giving to me to get what you wanted from me.
That you have to think really hard to even get through that.
But it's actually very simple. Like, I genuinely believe the reason giving is so powerful is so few people actually give without expectation.
Yes.
That when you taste it, it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
People are always like, everyone's so drawn to you. I'm like, because I'm fucking giving.
Yeah.
Like, it's not super complicated around here. Like, because I'm giving.
It costs nothing, right?
When it's your natural framework, when you're
Yeah.
capable, when you're like, there's so many things that go, like.
Practice, though. Come on, it's practice.
Everything's practice.
Everything's practice.
Everything's practice.
Yeah, which, we're like spirit animals.
100%.
Yeah.
Everything is practice.
You
By
can
the way,
see
if
that,
you're watching
right?
on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, please put your phone number in. Andy's going to grab some questions, but as you can see, I'm enthralled in this conversation. What, on your current business?
Yeah, Beauty Pie.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because
Yeah.
the way it's interesting. I wonder if you've talked about your other businesses this way. I always wonder if the one, as you kind of structured it in the way you were talking, is the one that just happens to be current for entrepreneurs, or is I don't know. It was interesting when you said it. I'm like, oh, I wonder how I think about that.
Yeah.
Why do you think this was the mother lode, the one?
It's when you can do something and build a business, and this is Beauty Pie, my latest business, which is like a giant buyer's club for people who love luxury beauty products.
And what's a buyer's club? Educate us all.
So buyer's club is when you go in with a group. So there's a large group of people, all members of a club, who can buy direct from a source without paying for middlemen or marketing or any retailer markups.
Yep.
And that's my definition of a buyer's club.
But they're not reselling it, or is it?
No, they're not reselling. These
just-
are end users. So
Yep.
our members are the end users of the product. And I worked in the beauty industry for such a long time. And what I realized, over so many years of doing it, the spa was incredible because you're putting your hands on somebody and really changing how they feel. And
Yes.
you can really transfer an energy to them, and that's worth money. That service is worth payment, right? And for everybody who worked in the spa, it felt like a good exchange and a fair exchange. In cosmetics, and especially when you get to more expensive cosmetics or the luxury types, the
And where
markup.
does that start? At what price point? Just for us
you
less
know,
knowledgeable.
listen, what's luxury to some people,
That's
right?
right.
It could
But
be
what-
a $50 face cream up to a $200, up to $300, $400 face
Yep.
cream. Generally, the cost of goods on something like that
I'm aware.
is about 8%.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because let's do easy math, right? If you're selling to a retailer and the retailer is selling that cream for $100, right? 60 of it goes to the retailer. So then you back out everything else, the marketing, the free samples, the middleman, the celebrity, whoever
I
you
got
pay, blah, 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 8%. So a woman who is buying, or a man who is buying a $100 cream is getting an $8 cream because of all of this stuff in the middle that doesn't do anything better for their face. And what I realized after...
So how is this different than a direct-to-consumer brand that may make those, obviously all the DTC explosion?
Yes.
How is this buyer's club concept?
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're transparent. So we actually show customers exactly how much it costs to make the product. So you
Flat
can,
out.
Flat out, everything. Here's exactly what the package costs, the formula that goes into it, the packing, safety testing, et cetera, et cetera. And then they can buy up to a certain amount each month of product based on which membership they chose. But we never value
So the membership
engineer
they
the
have to
product
pay for
backwards.
as well?
Yeah,
Similar to Costco?
Yeah, it's like Costco.
It sounds like it.
It's like Costco, but people always say, it's not like Costco. Don't say it's like Costco. I'm like,
Well,
it's
that's
kind of like Costco in
The
America.
the people that are trying to tell you to not
They
say
don't
that,
understand Costco.
no, they're people who are ideological, not executing.
But Costco is amazing. So imagine Costco, right? Filled with amazing luxury beauty stuff.
Costco's amazing to you and I
Yeah.
as a business model. They're speaking in very layman's terms of like, don't associate with Costco because
But
it's
Costco,
discount.
but it's not discount.
I know it's not. They have fucking boats in there for like $80,000.
Yeah. And everybody's in there with their Range Rover.
So
and
people pay for membership.
You pay for
You're-
membership.
You're authentic with what the cost is.
Yeah,
Now, does the
people actually pay the cost of the product.
because the membership covers your
Yes,
margin.
The membership
I
covers
got
the
it.
margin. It's so easy. And so it's
The
kind of-
end.
Yeah. But come on. Okay, now look at it this way. So imagine
Is there any added value, or is access to buying the product what they're paying for?
it's access. And then they have limits based on which
But
level of
Costco
membership.
actually makes margin on their products.
We
They're not
don't.
just, you don't.
Well, here's why.
Please.
I didn't want to make it a margin game because it eliminates the purity of it. So
Did you consider flat out showing people that you were going to make a 6% margin on it in transparency? Because that was the other thing that I thought about
because,
when you were talking.
No, because I want people to know exactly how much it costs. I do not want to ever get into this margin game where there is a motivation to go back into it, because the way cosmetics work, it's always the same thing. You want a $50 cream? Oh,
by the way, it's not just cosmetics. It's every fucking brand.
But cosmetics.
I started Empathy Wines for the same reason.
Yeah, I suppose.
I cut out all the stuff in the middle. Now we're making a margin on it
yes.
because we don't have the membership component. But I love what you're doing. Not to mention, every single person in here who's listening right now is like, oh, I'd like anybody here, right, who maybe not into cosmetics, but there's something else, is saying, oh, cupcakes, oh, hats, oh, shampoo. Like, I like that. I like knowing exactly what it costs. And now what's interesting is you'll be able to build on top of the membership if you choose to over time.
In terms of?
Well, right now, the value...
You're coming in.
Well, no, I'm not coming in. I'm brainstorming because I can't
I
help it because I love it.
Yeah.
You're right. I can't help it. You have a business where the value to pay for what are the membership level?
10, 20, 30 a month, and
Right.
allows you to buy, this
Got
X,
it.
Y, or Z.
Right. So I'm paying $120 a year for the ability to buy things that cost.
Yeah.
That, and it's up
Normally
to
would
you.
be 10
Correct.
times cost.
Correct. And it's up to you to deliver a product that I like
Yep.
in that variable. What I'm thinking is that's going to be a very valuable proposition, and that a lot of people are going to be excited about.
I think so.
And so what you're able to do over time, though, is now you have millions of people subscribed to the membership.
We can actually get them better prices.
Of course.
And we've done that already with a lot of stuff is now half the price it was at the
you're
beginning.
You're using your volume.
Faster. And we always just go for the best
What
stuff.
What you can do next gets really interesting, though. Whether it's events, whether it's there's
Pop-ups.
You have unlimited access because you have first-party data at scale of end consumer. Whoever's closest to the customer wins.
Yeah, I think so.
You've
You get
created-
so much out of it, and they get so much out of it. And the beautiful thing here is they win,
Let's get a call in.
we win.
I love it.
It's amazing.
So this started 2 years ago.
Yeah, we just started.
You launched
a little
in
small.
the UK?
We launched in the UK, and then we have a warehouse in the US. We are set up
Super
and ready to
quiet.
go.
Shh.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, just
And
starting.
And did it click instantly? Did you know right away? How did it go?
No, actually, you know what? People couldn't believe that that's what
They didn't
cosmetics
believe it.
really
Cynicism. Yep.
cost to make.
Yeah.
And
so they
they
assumed that the product wasn't as good.
Yeah. Now they're learning. It
The
takes a
truth
little
always-
while. I guess you
truth
can't be
always wins
so.
in
The
the
truth does, and the pure, doing the right thing, right, is always going to win in the end. So.
Almost verbatim what I talk about.
Oh, sorry.
No, not sorry. It's making me love you so much. Who's this? Michael from Minnesota.
Hello.
Michael, it's Gary Vaynerchuk.
Hey, Gary. This is Michael.
How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm extremely well. Thanks for calling in, and please say hello to Marcy.
Holy.
Hi,
Thank you,
Michael.
sir. Holy shit.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
How's it going?
Great.
Good. How are you?
You have a question? I'm gonna move it along.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna be real fast. So I'm 22 years old.
Okay.
I'm from the Philippines 4 years ago. Came to the United States. Finished school and stuff like that. But I'm planning to go in the military.
Great.
And I'm contemplating between sales or go to the military to pay for college and then build a business from there.
So are you going to the military so you don't have college fees?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And right now you
Because my
are.
parents are definitely not going to pay for my shit.
I totally
so-
understand. And are you currently in college, or are you in high school? You're 23, you said. So with the moving from the Philippines, I just want to get.
22, yep.
So you've gone to college already and caught debt, and the way to clean that debt is to go to the military.
I did 1 year of college,
I'm
but
listening.
I just got enough college credit to start as a high rank in the military. But then again, what I'm doing right now, I have like 3 fucking jobs, 1 full-time and 2 part-time. So the 2 part-times I'm doing brand ambassador, so basically selling, shit like that, talking about the product, and So right now I enjoy doing sales, but
Let me ask you a
also
question.
I'm worried about.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You're thinking about going to the military to pay for college for the sake of having a college
Yes,
degree.
sir.
For the sake of having a college degree.
Yes, sir.
All right, just so you know, you're talking to 2 people here. One who didn't go to college, and I went to Mount Ida College, which is like, I might be the reverse. Like, no question, my 6th grade classes in Edison, New Jersey were tougher than out of college. So, like, you're talking, like, I'm worried that you're putting a college degree on a pedestal and deciding to go to military to pay for something that actually won't bring you any value other than perception.
It may or may not.
It may or may not.
Yeah, I dropped out of college.
Okay.
And I'm doing pretty well.
Why do you want to go to college? Let's start with that.
Basically, I mean, most likely for security, so
Yeah.
therefore I can get a training from the military and then college.
No.
I'm seeing it so I went to my girlfriend's graduation, right?
Okay.
And there's like at least 500 of them graduated, at least 30 grand in fucking student debt.
Yeah.
Times that by 500, that's like almost 20 million right there. And I was
Go
like,
ahead.
I can't pay for fucking 30 grand of college, so.
But what does that have to do with you, and why do you want to go to college?
Like I said, so it's basically just for security, so I have money going in, but I'm really not so sure what I want to do in college in the first place.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, this is my biggest, you're talking to two people who also love building brands. The great brand
Yes, sir.
that America built and in cahoots with college is college in America.
Yeah. I
Like,
agree.
if you go back and watch this tonight, watch this, because this is going to be,
will.
watch this 50 times. You have no
Yes, sir.
rationale you're literally going to go to the military to pay for something and spend 3 years there to pay for something that you have no reason or knowledge to why you want it other than it's the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think it's, if you know what you want to do in college and it's a path to lead you to where you absolutely want to go, great. But if not, just go get a job.
Right.
Start
If you said
working
to me,
somewhere.
Gary, I want to
Okay.
be a sports
So-
agent like your brother, and that means I have to become a lawyer
Yeah.
and I have to go to law school. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, in this huge wave of entrepreneurship or sales or all this stuff, we now live in a world where the biggest companies in the world no longer are requiring a college degree. You can DM your way into a job these days. I'm just I hate that kids are going to the military and kids are taking on huge debt to do something that they perceive as fun or the right thing to do, or this notion that, well, I can always fall back on my college degree. What do you
Not
mean?
true.
It's just not
Got it.
true.
Not true.
Fall back to what?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, right now I'm doing 2 brand ambassador jobs. So I go to Walmart, talk to people all day, fucking day.
Love.
So should I just stick to that, develop the skill, and then move on from
What you
there?
should definitely not do is commit 2 to 3 years of your life to the military to pay for a piece of paper that you have no fucking idea what to do with in the first place. You literally what you just said to me is I'm 23 years old and I plan on graduating college at 26, 27, 28, 29 years old, but you have no logic to why you want that piece of paper.
Sometimes I think if you just get in there, get a job, stay in your job, try and get a different job, try different things out, right? You're in the market, you find out what you like doing, and then you might want to go to college later.
You or your parents or your girlfriend or your girlfriend's parents or some TV show you watched 11 years ago put the idea of college on a pedestal and you're still acting on it.
Yeah, I agree.
And the military is a big risk, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Like anything can happen.
Yep.
I mean, it's just real life. I mean,
Yeah,
forget
and-
about the thoughts of like where everybody goes when we say that. Like, fine. Like, obviously, world wars aren't popping out every day. Forget about that. And military, by the way, I love the military. I'm sure it can bring a lot of discipline and things of that nature. I love the military. I love college. I love entrepreneurship. I just love self-awareness more than all three. So, like, when you do Q&A and I can ask you this question, you have no answer.
Yep. I agree.
This is good. This is why I'm excited. Like, I don't think the college degree as a backup plan is as big of a deal as you think. And I think you need to think about that.
Okay.
I think that's a great,
Got it,
well
sir.
thought through answer.
Thank you.
You are so right.
Thank you. All right, brother. Take care. Let's get one more. I'll take that one. You know, it's interesting. And listen, you and I grew up in an era where the degree did carry more weight.
I suppose so.
I
yeah.
mean, like, and I'm thinking forward, not backwards. I can make a statement I'm very confident of. Look, college is right for some people. It's not right for some people. There's a million things. I will say this. The brand of a college degree is not increasing in our society.
No.
It is decreasing. The end.
Supply and demand, right?
Supply and fucking... See? God, I love you. Fuck. We are similar. Like, honestly, it's that basic. Like, I don't think you and I are some incredibly crazy entrepreneurs. We just understand
Very
basic
practical.
shit,
Adam.
very practical.
Practical.
Adam,
Hey,
Yeah.
Adam.
it's Gary Vaynerchuk. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm super well. What's your question for Marcy and I?
Oh, well, my question is, so I'm building my version 2 for my platform. Yeah.
I'm listening. Don't listen to the podcast. Turn that off. We're live here on the radio. You got the
okay.
delay.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, shut it off.
No worries. Oh my God, I said radio because that's what they used to say on sports talk. They're like, turn it down. That's so funny where your brain
All
goes.
right, shut it off.
All right, good. We're right here. What's your question, brother?
Okay, my question is, I launched a platform to sell your Tesla, and I want to know if I should accept outside funding in the form of equity. I've got an equity company on my ass, or borrow the money from someone, or just keep struggling and using my sales money and to build my version 2.
Whoa. I think I'd keep struggling and use your sales money to build your version 2.
Me too.
Yeah, try and stay independent as long as you possibly can.
And borrowing from a bank, high net worth individual, and definitely taking money from a venture capitalist is not staying independent. Now, look, you've got two people here who've never taken funding for their businesses. The only time I've ever had any cash infusion in my business was when AJ and I decided to sell a piece to Steve Ross, but we took every dollar off the table. Not one of those dollars was used to operate. So I don't like using money to operate a business because I think it creates bad behavior.
Yeah. If it's your
It
own
doesn't
money,
take a
you
hu-
spend so differently.
Right? And it doesn't
Yeah.
take a hero to lose money every month.
No. And everybody's losing money every month.
You're preaching.
No, just suffer as long as you can, as
But
long as you're
listen,
still
other
moving
people
forward.
will tell you like you need the capital because you only have a window. I don't know.
I don't
Like,
believe
it all
in
depends.
windows.
Like if you're building a business that has a window, you're building something vulnerable to begin with.
Yep. Yeah, there's no shelf life
Yeah.
on that. Yep.
Yeah, but the money is so alluring. You know,
That's
I
why
can take
fucking
that
people
money-
lose. A lot of things are alluring. Doing cocaine to hook up with chicks is alluring.
Can you?
It's not right.
Right.
You know, the longer that
Okay.
you operate, I think the longer you operate on your own money, right? The more you learn how to be incredibly responsible with it and be strategic with it. And the sooner
Yeah.
that you have too much money, the more wasteful you get with it and you don't think as hard. I think when
What's
it's your own
alluring
money
about
and
the
you're
money?
suffering, you think hard.
What's alluring about the money, bro? Break it down for me. Educate me. From
Well-
your
well, it's
perspective. Yeah, from your perspective.
Well, the alluring thing about the money is that as soon as I get it, I can be more comfortable. I've been living. I've been struggling for like a year, and I finally got the platform going. I got sales coming in, but
Get 'em.
it's
A
just-
year? A year?
It's not easy.
A year. Hey, you gotta
Yeah.
buck up. I struggled for 10 years, right? 1 year
Okay.
is like you are spoiled.
Brother,
Stop
you're
being spoiled.
Brother, you're giving up your business, a piece of your business for,
for
that
a
money.
year. Think in another
Yeah.
year. Can you suffer for another year? Suffer.
Well,
You might be
I'm-
three times as far ahead.
Now I'm just used to living on very little. I got used to living
That
on.
is the
I
best
just
thing
got
ever.
So hungry.
Brother, that's the best.
I used to eat bagels pretty much every day, all day.
I don't want to eat food ever again.
Who needs?
I
Well,
want to do nothing. I want to like never leave this room. Like, guys, like, bro, if you've gotten used to it, you're about to fuck up your shit.
If you're used to it,
Well, am I
that is
gonna
a
get
great place
fat?
to be.
I got pretty skinny too.
You don't know. You really can't eat at all.
He can. Like, seriously.
You've got a phone.
what?
No, I can eat. I eat a lot of bone broth.
Help me here. Help me here. Help me here.
He's
What'd he
false.
say?
Bone broth. Hip
No,
and
but
trendy.
bro, on a serious note, like without like humor stuff, because I really want to help you here. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to take the money? Do you not want to take the money? Like, what's the punchline here?
I kind of want. I do want to take the money, but at the same point, I'm like, I built this from zero to a few grand a month now. Why bother taking the money? Why? It's like I'm being pimped out.
Yeah, I agree. You're so early in the process. A year is nothing.
Yeah.
Like you haven't even started. Do you believe in the business long term?
Yes, I definitely believe. I'm just my sales are going up every day. Every month.
Is anybody pressuring you to take the money that's not you? Mother, father, sibling, spouse?
No,
Okay.
no pressure. I mean,
Good.
no one's pressure. I have no external pressure.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen, I think the longer you can stay independent, the more likely you're building something meaningful.
And the value is exponential the longer you can hold on to it without getting any investors in.
Okay.
Good luck, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're built from similar cloths. And listen, there's a lot of business that are capital intensive, things of that nature. But I think what I'm overreacting to these days is everybody thinks the only way you can succeed is by raising capital.
Yeah.
Right? Like that wasn't, I didn't even hear of that until my early 20s. Everything was maybe you could get a bank loan and maybe not, but most likely you got to figure it out
And
and
somebody
save
had
money
to co-sign
until,
for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't, I'm just going to go out there and try and scale something and waste a lot of money. You
As we're
actually have
wrapping
to have
up,
a plan.
what else have we not covered in these last couple minutes? Anything you want to talk about?
Oh, let's see, we've talked about beauty pie.
We have?
Let's see, we've talked about there being no shortcuts.
Yes. Please.
The question of the day?
Yes, that will come up, but we're not there yet.
Are you asking it or am
You're
I?
asking it.
Do I have to come up with the question of the day?
That is correct.
Oh, I thought I had the answer of the day. Because
That could be the question.
When you think about a question of the day, it's about what is the meaning of life, right?
Or
what is the meaning of business?
You know what's funny? It's either super in the clouds,
Yeah.
or you use the audience as a focus group, and you can ask a very simple kind of tactical question that may give you a huge insight into something. I love asking questions for answers because it's insight.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's
So,
insight.
What do you
Let me
think
ask
the
you a
meaning of? Wait.
What do I think the meaning of life is?
Yeah.
That's too, you know what's so funny? You
What?
said it earlier quietly while somebody was talking. I think one of the things is we're getting to know each other that we completely connect on is utter practicality. The meaning of life is like the least practical thing I could ever think of.
Oh, but actually, it's quite practical. I think.
Having a North Star is practical.
Okay.
Which is different to me than the macro, but it's all how we interpret.
Yeah.
Here's my thing: the ambition of my life and the wish that I would have on everybody, besides health, because if you're not healthy, it's game over, is genuinely enjoying the process,
Evolution.
however you want to call it.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that I wake up every morning and I love it, which is why I like the booing, which is like why I love the struggles. To me, the trophies are so not interesting.
No.
They're just not.
No, they're not.
They're
They
just
don't mean
not.
anything.
They only mean something if you're insecure and you want to show somebody the trophy.
Yeah.
I mean it. You said something earlier, like so authentically, and it was so pure, which was like, I don't give a fuck what my friends thought about my
I
apartment.
think you said that.
No, you said it.
Oh, did I?
And
You're
and that
bad
might be my
influence, Gary.
No, you might have not said fuck, but I definitely who cares what they think is the way I think you said it,
Yeah.
or whatever you said. That's the fucking game.
Yeah.
That's the game.
If you can
Let
get
me ask you a
there.
question. What do you admire out there these days? Because you know, the more I'm sitting with you, like I'm like, oh, this is one thoughtful lady. Like, what if I said to you, hot take? Give me 3 or 4 things you admire. You could say anything: countries, individuals, brands, business model. Like, just straight up right now, what's got your attention? You're like, oh, and you may not even have a fully thought through thing. You're like, oh, I want to explore that a little bit. Like, what's got your attention in the world outside of your 4 walls?
What was his name?
minutes.
Was
1
it,
minute.
Is it Robert Smith
Robert Smith.
who paid
Oh,
off the
paid off all the
loans
student
of
loans.
all
That's
those
amazing.
kids
Yeah, that was
graduating from
amazing.
Morehouse?
Okay, that's.
I admire that
me
because just
too.
the idea of let's make it easy
Love.
for some other people
Love.
and let's hope that they then take
Love.
that energy and make it easy for the next
Love.
people, and just being able to lift someone up like that.
It's so funny you said that. That so caught my attention too. Okay, what
Yeah.
else?
Um,
What's a product that you love right now that has nothing to do with your world?
a product that
Caught
I
your
love.
attention.
Shoot, you know what? I'm so in the middle of my world.
I know.
It's really hard
That's
to
why I'm
think
at-
about
I know.
products because I actually don't look so much at products.
I get it. Anything used that you love?
What do I use
A
that I
cereal,
love?
a drink,
God.
a shampoo.
Well, my AirPods. But you know what? I love them.
Have
but,
you guys heard this from me? You know this is like my.
Okay, but wait, we have
No,
to
that was
feel a bit
spooky
of,
as fuck.
Wait, we gotta.
Like literally, I asked this question when I do dinners,
And you were
and my
there,
answer
Buzz.
for the last year and a half has been this.
Okay.
No, really, that's fucking crazy. You've heard that in some of the
Yeah,
dinners?
but wait. Didn't you read the whole argument against AirPods?
Cancer to the head?
No, it was more about how the batteries don't recharge, right? And they
Oh, I
only
thought it was
last
kid-
for X amount of
No,
time,
that's
and then
fine.
they're going
That
to
takes 2
become
fucking
landfill
seconds.
and
That's
blah
fine.
blah blah
It's
blah
the
blah.
only
and
thing
then-
Tim Cook's done well under
I
his watch.
love those so much. They change your life.
I mean it.
I bought them for everybody in the office for Christmas because they were
Smart.
so good.
Smart.
I mean, really, you feel free,
What-
but you can communicate.
What else? Do you consume content? Do you watch, listen to anything?
I do. I watch
What do you-
TED.
Ted?
Yeah, I listen to podcasts like How I Built This, Freakonomics. I listened to yours because I had to prepare for this. And it was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there's tons of podcasts that I listen to because there's just so much
like
interesting
the
information. I love Ray Dalio.
He's amazing.
Okay, that's it, right? That if you're going to be an entrepreneur, go listen or read that book.
Yeah.
At least once a year.
Makes a lot of sense.
Right, just to remind yourself what's really important and what the truth is.
I'm really, 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 really looking forward to getting to know you better.
Likewise.
I really, really like where your head's at. Question of the day. You get to
Question
ask
of
it.
the day. Oh, it was going to be what was the meaning of life?
And then that's it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
What a pleasure.
Yeah, super
Thanks for
enjoyed
having
it.
me.
You keep asking questions, we'll keep answering them.
What about the tequila?
We never got to it.
No.
On this episode, she's so damn interesting, we never even drink the tequila.
We could now.
I gotta get the hell out of here. Such a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.